Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, today I have Anthony Badalian on the line, and he's president and COO over at Stride Fitness. Anthony, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Adam. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, I love a good fitness episode, and I like a good franchise episode, and we're going to be getting into both of these, two of my favorite topics, so excited to get into Stride Fitness. But just to get us kicked off, we'll start this episode with what we call our Mission Matters Minute. So, Anthony, at Mission Matters, our aim and our goal is to amplify stories for entrepreneurs, for executives, and for organizations. I mean, that's what we do. Anthony, what mission matters to you?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and I probably can answer it in so many different ways. But I think what mission matters most to me is just inspiring people and motivating and influencing people. Luckily, I can do that in the business where I serve here at Stride Fitness, but just leaving a mark, leaving a legacy, and within that legacy, helping people and building relationships to accomplish their goals, really inspiring.
How did you get into fitness? Like, were you always in the fitness industry side, or were you more business or both? Or like two of my favorite worlds, fitness and then business. How'd you get into fitness though?
Yeah, absolutely. Two of my favorite as well. I got into fitness a long time ago, and it started with just trying to find a job, and I landed a job over at 24 Hour Fitness as a sales consultant, a membership consultant is what they called it. And funny thing is I thought I was applying to just be a kind of a front desk rep to check people in. And ultimately, I realized when I got sat down at a desk and was told to call 100 people in a day.
Oh, here we go.
I realized very quickly that I actually think I got hired on for sales. But I got a job, and so ultimately it was really exciting. And I said, well, I'm going to put my best foot forward. And after getting people to come in on some free trial passes to use the gym, and then that led to creating a few sales, I started to really see, wow, sales is kind of contagious. It's exciting. It's invigorating. It's really great when you get to connect somebody with a solution, especially when it comes to fitness goals. And so I just kept putting my best foot forward and knew and saw very quickly that, man, I'm pretty damn good at this. And ultimately, that kind of sprung my career and took me into different avenues and paths within the fitness industry and led me to where I'm at today.
What year was this roughly? Like when you first started with 24 Hour? I'm just curious.
Yeah, roughly. So it was about 15, 16 years ago when I got started.
When we think about the rise of that particular brand, that's kind of like in their heyday, so to speak. So that's like the real growth of certain. The reason I asked this too is because I'm just interested as we kind of transition into what you're doing today, into really, and correct me if I'm off on this, but as you've been in the industry for so long and working with different brands, that being one of them, and now what you're doing, you're kind of seeing the different models as they take place and what's working, what's not. Am I off on that or?
No, you're 100% on. I mean, I got started back in around 2010, and so ultimately there is a lot of evolution that has gone on during that time, and a lot of things. And also with my background, I come from the big box gym world, but now I'm in small boutique fitness, if you will, and specifically in franchising versus corporate. And so there's been a lot that I've experienced and learned along my journey. And it's been a ride. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah. Give us a little bit of an overview. I think sometimes people understand the big box just because of names. Like you say, 24 Hour Fitness. So kind of intuitively, they kind of understand that a bit. But when you say boutique fitness market, what does that mean?
Yeah, I look at boutique fitness as really small, community-driven businesses that are all about developing a culture, developing a movement. A lot of what we talk about at Stride Fitness is about our movement, and we can talk about that more later. But I really feel it's where there's a lot of personal touches within the business, and you really feel a part of a community. It's a culture. It's a movement, as I just explained. And it's something where you are heavily focused on by the team, the staff, the coaches, the instructors, to really ensure that you feel like you have a sense of belonging. You're really there to accomplish whatever goals that you brought to the table that initially brought you there and got you to sign up for a membership and you're striving to attain.
So when you talk about a movement and creating that culture around that, where do you find, obviously you've worked on both sides and maybe there's pros and cons of both sides, but I'm curious on what you find so appealing about that boutique market. And because ultimately, at the end of the day, the end goal is for the members of the gym or to benefit, right, and reach their goals. I'm curious on you, what do you think some of the advantages of that like boutique side are?
Yeah, I mean, some of the advantages are understanding your members and your clients and knowing them at a personal level, where it's very difficult to do that if you work in a big box gym where you've got hundreds, if not thousands of people coming in and out, with obviously a lot of people signing up and a lot of people leaving, right? And so I think in the boutique model, really controlling that membership count that you have, those members that are loyal to you, and understanding them on a deeper level that goes far beyond just what their surface level fitness goals are. Why do they want to get to those goals, and how we can help them really get to that, right? It could be one thing where somebody wants to lose weight and tone up. Well, obviously that's why they're there, or whatever they're, want to work on their cardio or their core or whatever. But really, why do you want to achieve that? And really helping them along that journey so they can go, look the best when they're preparing themselves for a wedding, or, taking their kids to Disneyland and being able to just have the endurance to walk around all day. Or what is that goal? Us being able to press into that and assist them with that along the way, because we have this real intimate, opportunity to engage with them and support them along the way, which sets boutique fitness apart. And I feel really creates a sense of belonging and community and a culture that I continue to talk about that gets people excited to want to dabble into this type of a business and model than maybe going to some of the others.
I want to break down Stride Fitness and maybe some of the unique advantages, but I think in order for us to do it kind of clearly, let's take it from maybe two different sides. So if we can, let's start with as a user, so the gym, let's say the B2C, like the consumer, the gym, the individual that's going to join as a member, and then maybe let's move the conversation into the franchising opportunity. And so for some of the people that are more business minded in terms of like thinking about that. So where do you want to start with the consumer side of it? Like what do you think sets Stride Fitness apart or makes it interesting?
Yeah, well, I think there's a number of things, right? I think when we look at our business model, right, I believe, let me start with business to consumer, to your point, right?
Yep.
Some things that set us apart right away is, the fact that our studio is designed to be this powerful fusion between treadmill cardio and full body strength training that's essentially led by elite certified coaches, high energy music, this vibrant atmosphere that's just so electrifying that you can have fun while working out and really push past your limits. Diving into that a bit further, things that we've implemented in our business in terms of what the member would experience is the recovery aspect, right? What's really growing fast right now is people pushing past their limits and competing in run clubs or competing in a marathon, an ultra, an Ironman, a High Rocks, which is the World Series of Fitness Racing. And so you can accomplish a lot of that training and all that here. But one element that's missing if you're really putting that kind of demand on your body is the recovery component. And so all of our studios have what we call a recovery zone, powered by a brand and a company called Hyperice, which is globally recognized, where we have a lot of their equipment and tools in our recovery zone to help people recharge and recover quickly so they can get back to their training and ultimately fast-paced to their goals. In addition to that, we also have performance tracking through wearable technology, whether you use MyZone heart rate monitors or you have an Apple Watch, but really targeting into measurable tracking progression in the workout so you could really challenge yourself to a whole nother level with having data and using data to drive your next efforts moving forward. So those elements coupled with this atmosphere that we create in our four walls to make an unmatched experience is truly what sets us apart and really dabbles into a lot of where we're seeing a spike in fitness and interest when it comes to HIIT training and just making it just 10 times more exciting with what we have available in our studio.
Man, Anthony, you make it sound exciting. Like, I'm pumped.
It's great. Cool. I think since we opened up our corporate office, which is connected to our flagship studio here in Huntington Beach, California, I'm pretty sure I got like perfect attendance in group classes here because it's fun. It's just it's so different and it's just so empowering. And yeah, it's fantastic. I can go on talking about it forever.
Let's get into the B2C side. Like I do want to say, I know you work in the franchising side of it as well, like as an opportunity. So where do you want to start with that one?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of when we really think about the franchising side of the business, one thing that I think is huge right now, and really probably a lot of companies are dabbling into into it, and we are specifically, is really this component of streamlining the business model as much as we can, where we mitigate and control expenses, but we also make our model just so streamlined and attractive to a franchisee that it's hard to ignore, and it gives you all the opportunity to drive profitability and grow this movement that we're doing. And that, where I'm getting at with that, is really this kind of AI component, right? And so there's a lot of things that we're doing at Stride Fitness, incorporating AI with an individual we brought on, that we are constantly finding ways where we can allow our team members that we hire to be focused and obsessed with the consumer, giving them the best experience possible, but allowing AI and technology and all the things that we can do on the follow-up, and all the things that we can do within retail integration or pathways that when somebody goes on our app or website, that really is powered by artificial intelligence to really create a continued incredible experience, but also allows our team to be freed up to really focus on a lot of the human touches that we add into our business. And so I would say streamlining our business to make it very attractive, very seamless, and powered by technology and AI is really something that sets us apart, and we're really excited about moving forward.
Is this part of, and if it's, I'm sure it is, but can you maybe take it a little bit further in terms of the franchise model overall and what makes it scalable and, of course, sustainable? How do we go to one day seeing Stride Fitnesses all over the place? Yeah,
totally. I think from a consumer standpoint, we're scalable, and we're going to take it nationwide because of the fact that we ultimately have a workout modality that is very attractive to what we're seeing in the industry right now. Everybody wants to lift things, and everybody wants to run. That's why run clubs are on the rise. That's why people are getting back into marathon races and half marathons, 5Ks, 10Ks, all of that. So I think at the end of the day, getting back to the basics of what always created excitement around exercise is weight training and lifting weights and then running, right? And doing it in a fun atmosphere than just on a cardio machine or treadmill at a big box gym is just, it's booming. And we're seeing that across all the different competitors in our space. And so dabbling into that, I feel like it's never going to die out. It's only going to continue to grow. And it's really up to those businesses that can find a way to make it fun and encouraging and exciting. In terms of how we're going to scale the franchise model, it all comes down to the business layout and plan that we have to ensure franchisees are absolutely and incredibly successful. And again, I think it dials back into what I just said with finding ways where we can really streamline our processes through things like AI, but ultimately really get into a place where our model for running our business is undeniably strong and it can help these franchisees grow their business and drive the member counts they need so they can be absolutely successful. And again, a lot of that is really dialed into the inner workings of how we run our business, but we're confident that that coupled with our modality and this recovery component is going to help us skyrocket our business to the next level.
It's amazing. Anthony, this has been a lot of fun having you on today. And I tell you, what locations are you at, by the way? You mentioned, I think the flagship was in Huntington Beach. Where are you located? Tell us about some of the areas.
Yeah, so back on February 12th, we just launched and opened up our corporate office as well as our flagship studio in Huntington Beach, California. We also have 3 other locations in California, as far north as Pasadena, which is kind of the LA market, Tustin, California, as well as Carmel Mountain Ranch down in San Diego. And then we also have a location in Southlands, Aurora, Colorado, and 2 more that are set to open later this year in Tennessee and in Pennsylvania, with more on the horizon.
Man, you guys are on a roll. Love it. I'm going to have to check out that Pasadena one. I feel like that's the closest one to me. I'm in downtown Los Angeles. I might have to go.
Oh, great.
Go do a little checking out what's going on with Stride Fitness.
Yeah.
Again, it's been great having you on today, Anthony. How do people, if they want to, I guess I'll say this in both sides of the question, so to speak, if people, are interested as consumers and they want to check out the gym to get a workout in, and that's one way. And then also if people are interested in the business opportunity, the franchising side of things, how do people connect? How do they follow up?
Honestly, everything's super easy. You just www.stridefitness.com. That's our website. From there, you can learn about all of our studios, our experience, our movement that we're creating here, as well as tapping on the link franchise. So you can learn how you can franchise with us, become an owner of Stride Fitness, and help carry this exciting opportunity and movement in the communities that those interested audiences would like to open up in. So everything is powered through our website, and we're all over all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You can find us by just searching Stride Fitness.
Wonderful. For everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put those links in the show notes so that you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So hit that subscribe or follow button. And Anthony, man, it's been a pleasure, and looking forward to going and checking out Stride Fitness.
Please do. Absolutely. Love to have you on out at our Pasadena location. It's been an honor to be on this podcast, and I love your guys' Mission Matters movement that you're doing. It's very aligned with what we're doing here at Stride Fitness. So thank you so much for having me, and looking forward to maybe jumping on another one down the road.